Senate, and I'm honored to be today, in particular, to be part of this body and to have an opportunity to vote in favor of this legislation. Let me start by saying kudos to the lady from Somerville, the lady from Ashland, and the gentleman from the Cape and the Islands, and to you, Mr. President, for all the hard work on this bill. I'm particularly pleased that the Senate is debating and will hopefully shortly pass the legislation for 3 reasons. The first reason is personal. Like many of you, I have 2 daughters. The oldest is 16, the youngest is 13, and I can't, imagine anything more important than knowing that they've got a bright future ahead of them. And this is an important part of ensuring, as they go into the workforce, that they are treated equally and that they can support themselves and their families. Second reason I'm so pleased is because this bill will, in a very tangible way, help thousands, tens of thousands of women and their families across the Commonwealth. Today, as we've heard during the debate, women in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts make up almost half of the workforce, but they earn on average only 80 cents on the dollar of what men earn. Fundamental unfairness. And as a result of that, they lose a combined total of about $12 billion annually due to this wage gap. And the third reason that I'm really pleased is because of the impact that this legislation and the work that we're doing can have more broadly on growing our economy in Massachusetts and in reducing income inequality. And I just want to read from the words of Christine Lagarde, who's as you may know, is the head of the International Monetary Fund, who actually had an op-ed today in the Boston Globe, and I thought was very apropos the debate we were going to be having. And she writes, "Low growth and high inequality are 2 sides of the same coin. Economic policies need to pay attention to both prosperity and equity." And then she goes on to say, "Increasing women's economic participation in the labor market is a potentially game-changing contributor to greater and more equitable growth. Women face a double disadvantage in the job market. They are less likely to have a paid job than men, and if they do have a job, they earn significantly less than their male colleagues, even with the same level of education and in the same occupation. Eliminating these employment gender gaps could boost gross domestic product significantly. For the United States, as much as 5% and potentially more in other countries." Mr. President, in closing, this is a very important step that we're taking today, and I hope that we will continue to build on this with our focus on the well-being of women and people of color and others who are disadvantaged in the workforce, so that we continue to maintain our focus on achieving a living wage in all professions to strengthen pay equity and the quality of life for our constituents. Thank you, Mr. President.